Hey everybody, this is Chris from Highland CCG. Today we have something special. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, Chris here from Highland CCG. Today we are following up on my G.I. Joe video with a Star Wars guide video, and further letting go of stuff that I don't need and nobody else here wants. And somebody out there does, I'm sure. So I figured I would get rid of them now, save myself the trouble of keeping these things, storing them, curating them, making sure they're okay and not getting damaged and so forth. It's a lot of stress that you just don't need for a lot of stuff in your life. So this is the case that I got these guys in, and some of these are newer acquisitions, but some of them were that original group. I was dragged along by my dad to some former neighbor's house because he wanted to catch up. So they sat in the kitchen. It was like an older lady, and they were in the kitchen talking. I was sitting in the living room with nothing to do, thinking this is going to be one of the more boring days. She came in after a while, and she turned to me and said, "Do you like Star Wars?" And I said, "Yes, I do." I was probably like 7 or 8, and she came out with this, which I guess was her son's, and he was a teenager now and didn't need them or want them. And she gave me this, and it was full of Star Wars guys with all their accessories. I've lost almost all the accessories, as kids do, and a lot of the figures are no longer here either. But I can point out the ones that are, and tell you about the ones that aren't, as well as some of the newer pickups. So without further ado, let's get into that. Yeah, and the space case was just a generic case that somebody made for Star Wars figures without saying that they made it for Star Wars figures. But here we go. So we have, let me just make sure we're in frame here. So we have the first tray here. This is like mostly the good guys. So let's see, Bib was in there. He was one of the original ones I got. I think he still had his cloak. Yeah, I lost everything. Everything that came with these guys is gone. So I got Bib here originally. I got that Gamorrean, Jabba's guard there. Just a cool guy, just a cool model. This guy, the Hammerhead guy, I don't remember he has an actual name, but I don't remember it. Yeah, he was in there. This Han Solo was in there. He's really beat up. I subsequently, as a kid, painted him, but probably just made it worse. And but yeah, it's the original Han Solo. This is the C-3PO that came with it. Kind of rusted back there, but still good. Yoda had all his stuff. He had his cloak and his snake and his cane, and yeah, lost everything. Boba Fett was in there. Of course, you gotta have Boba Fett. I might hold on to Boba Fett. No, I'll probably include him in there. Lobot was in there from Empire Strikes Back. Lando's right-hand guy. And these were newer acquisitions. So these two I bought very recently, within the last few years, just because I wanted to have them. I never had them before. Thought they were cool. And this as well. This is a special one because it's a mail-away Anakin Jedi, like in Return of the Jedi, after he had, spoiler alert, after he had died. They show the glowing Jedi, him, and so that was just kind of a cool one to have. I knew that it existed, but I hadn't ever seen it, so I wanted to get that. And then this is part of the 90s. They did a re-release of Han, Luke, Chewbacca, and Darth Vader. I think it was like KB Toy or something. I got it, but I got it mostly because I didn't have Luke or Chewie. I had a Darth Vader, which I lost. R2-D2 got lost. He was playing with him in water. He got wet. All his decals came off, and I was just kind of bummed out and didn't really play with him very much after that. And then I lost him somehow. So him, Darth Vader, Ponda Baba, who's like got the orange shirt with the blue sleeves and blue pants. He's got that like thing on his face. You know, he's the one who attacks Luke in the cantina. Don't have him anymore. I had there was a bounty hunter, Dengar. I didn't know that was a Star Wars guy because he looked really weird. But yeah, layer 2. Trying to think if there was anybody else. I lost the Scout Trooper. I had a Scout Trooper that I got from my other friend that I lost. But yeah, here's the Imperials, and then this guy, another Jabba guard. He was in the original group that I got. The AT-ST driver was in the original group that I got. And the Emperor was in that original group. And I think there was like one Stormtrooper, and he has, yeah, like I put clay on him. I like put him in a like carbonite or whatever, so I had covered him in clay, and you can still see some of the clay on there. So that's how I know this is the one that came in the original group. And then I bought more Stormtroopers over the years because I wanted, you know, as a kid you want to have like the good guys fighting a bunch of Stormtroopers, not just one Stormtrooper. And then here's a Snow Trooper. One of these guys, I think it's this one, they all have kind of different eyes. If you look at their eyes, they're all a little bit different. But I'm pretty sure this guy with like the more triangle eye helmet, I bought him at a Star Trek convention when I was a little kid for a few bucks. And yeah, then these other ones I just got kind of randomly here and there. The ones that are all faded, I just would pretend these are the Sand Troopers. So that's why they're like that. They're covered in sand. So you know, it just has to make sense in the story. Snow Trooper, and this is a re-released Darth Vader. I have his cape and his lightsaber. But I did have an original Darth Vader and lost it, which was really sad. I went looking all over for it, couldn't find it anywhere. That's how that works. It's pretty genius idea, I thought. And then this little cape is for the Snow Trooper. I forget exactly. I'm not gonna try to mess it up, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Let somebody else deal with that. Alright, so that's my space case for it, guys. I do have the Luke pilot, but he got broken and he's like just glued. And I have Luke and Lando are somewhere. I gotta find those guys. But I'm just gonna put this up as a lot. Put up my G.I. Joes just as one big lot, and people have already bid on it, which is cool. I assume by the time this video airs it will have sold. But yeah, make like, you know, 30-40 bucks on a bunch of loose G.I. Joe stuff, and probably stand to make more on this stuff, so we'll see. But, I mean, pretty cool, huh? I love this stuff, and I played with it all the time. It's not like it's just been a waste or anything. I played with these guys like crazy and had a lot of fun. But it's just not something that I see other folks in my family enjoying, so just gonna let somebody else enjoy it. So thanks for, once again, putting up with non-magic content, but I do think it's important to go through what you have think about why you have it. I thought I forget where I read it, but it was like, why do you have this thing? And if one of the answers is like to keep it for the next generation, or like to preserve this thing, like, you know, you're probably not, you probably don't need to hold on to it. Find somebody else who's really into it. Share what you have. Let other people enjoy it. So I'm of that mindset. I think like I periodically am cycling through what I have. Even with Magic cards, I'm looking through stuff that I have that I'm not in love with, and just, you know, making sure that those go to somebody who actually wants them. And then, you know, I use the money and I buy more stuff that I do want. You know, you can create a self-sustaining kind of hobby collector life by doing that kind of thing. If you're constantly just accumulating, you know, there's missed opportunities there, because there's going to be stuff, I'm sure, if you see it, you're like, why do I have this? And it's an overwhelming thing. You have all these things, you have these boxes piled up everywhere, and at least I do. It's just overwhelming, and it doesn't feel good. It feels stressful. It feels like I don't want to be in that room, or like I need to like hide this stuff in a closet because I don't want to look at it because it stresses me out. So I feel like that's not a good way to be. So I'm cleaning out the closets and getting this stuff out and into the hands of somebody who wants it. That's all. I think we owe ourselves that as collectors, to think about it. No one's like forcing you to do it, and no one's forcing you to get rid of your favorite stuff, but think about the stuff that's not your favorite stuff. Think about, it might be somebody else's favorite stuff, and just go for it. I think I feel better, but listing those Joes, I immediately felt better, especially when I saw someone bid on them. And I'm going to feel good knowing that somebody wants these. So, alright, that's it. Have a great rest of your day. May the Force be with you. Bye.